family gathers to celebrate a birthday, recording what should be a joyful moment for their home videos. The birthday man prepares to blow out the candles on his cake while everyone sings. The room is filled with laughter and celebration as the camera captures the scene. But when the candles go out and darkness briefly fills the room, the camera records something that turns a happy memory into a nightmare. Watch closely. As the candles go out and the room falls into darkness, a face appears directly beside the birthday man. The family didn't notice anything unusual during the celebration. It was only when they watched this video later that they discovered what had been right beside him. The lake path near this uploader's home has a dark reputation among locals. For years, residents have reported seeing a woman in white wandering near the water after dark. They call her La Llorona, the weeping woman who lost her children near the water and now haunts these areas searching for them. Most people avoid the lake path after sunset, but Instagram user Educan Training Official regularly posts videos of his two protection dogs, Zeus and Thanos. He's walked this path countless times during his late evening training sessions, and he never believed the stories until this night, when his camera captured something that made him a believer.
Espérate. ¿Quién es este? Oh, ¿Hay algo ahí? ¿Hay una persona ahí o qué es eso? Espérate. ¿Es una persona? Aquí. Danos. Aquí, Zeus. ¡Quieto! ¡Quietos! ¡Quédense ahí! ¡Quieto ahí! ¿Qué es eso? ¡Quieto, Thanos! ¡Quietos!
As they walk along the lake path, both Zeus and Thanos suddenly become agitated. The dogs begin barking aggressively and pulling on their leashes towards something in the shadows. Then, from the darkness, a figure in white emerges. It moves slowly towards them before stopping. Both dogs react with pure panic, straining against their leashes as the figure stands motionless. After several tense moments, the entity retreats back into the shadows. Using his trained protection dogs reacted to this figure differently than they would to a normal human. Whatever emerged from that darkness near the lake that night triggered a primal fear response in both animals. The local legend about La Llorona haunting this path suddenly didn't seem like just a story anymore. And Jesus? Well, he hasn't returned to that section of the lake after dark ever since. But here's the question that keeps people wondering. If even trained protection dogs were terrified of this figure, what would have happened if Jesus had been walking alone that night? A man is relaxing in his living room when his phone alarm suddenly goes off, but he never set an alarm for this time. And when he checks his phone, the sound isn't coming from his device. Yet, it's unmistakably his alarm tone echoing through the room. According to him, a paranormal entity has been haunting his home for months, and it has a disturbing ability. It mimics sounds to get his attention. Voices, footsteps, electronic devices. The entity replicates them perfectly. top right corner of the kitchen door frame, the face of something emerges. Whatever it is, appears to be peering down at him from an impossible position near the top of the door. The mimic entity successfully got his attention using his own alarm sound and revealed itself watching from the kitchen doorway. What else has it been mimicking without him realizing? And how long has it been watching him before it decided to reveal itself? Something has been trying to get inside Alexis Lachica's home for weeks. He's been experiencing unexplained activity around his property, strange sounds, objects moved, the feeling of being watched from outside. But what started as subtle disturbances has escalated into direct contact. Late one evening, while alone in his house, aggressive knocking erupts at his front door. Alexis knows he should ignore it, but something compels him to answer. Alexis opens the door to find absolutely no one standing there. The porch is empty and the street is quiet. Whoever knocked with such force has completely vanished. The incident leaves him unsettled, but he dismisses it as a prank until it happens again days later. The same knocking erupts at his front door once more. Alexis immediately rushes to answer it, but again, no one is there. Whoever or whatever knocked has disappeared without a trace. The pattern is clear now. Whatever is outside isn't trying to scare Alexis, it's training him to open the door. And one day soon, when he opens it out of reflex, something will be waiting on the other side. Macallan Horror Nights operates one of the most notorious haunted attractions in the region. The business markets itself as the scariest experience you'll ever have. But what management doesn't advertise is that the scares aren't all manufactured. Staff members have reported unexplained activity for years, props moving on their own, and disembodied voices echoing through empty rooms. But one of the creepiest is the feeling of being watched after closing. And most of the employees refuse to work alone after dark. On this particular night, one employee is closing up and preparing setups for the next day's tours. She's walking through the back room where mannequins and props are stored. The security camera captures what happens next. As the employee approaches one of the mannequins, its head subtly shifts position. She notices the movement and freezes, staring at the figure. Then the mannequin's head turns completely and the employee panics and runs from the back room in horror. Security footage confirms no one else was in the building at that time. No strings, no mechanisms, no explanation for how a static prop moved on its own. Visitors have started questioning whether the scares are part of the show, or if something genuinely haunted has taken up residence among the props and costumes. Reddit user SevereTel2254 has been experiencing escalating paranormal activity in his home for months. It started with lights flicking on and off while he was on video calls with his long-distance fiancée. Then objects began falling from cupboards on their own, always the same items. He started feeling cold drafts moving through his home despite all windows and doors being closed. The activity intensified when he travelled to Canada to visit his fiancée. She woke up multiple times to find him sleep talking in what didn't sound like English. When she tried to wake him, he would immediately start snoring as if nothing happened. After returning home, the activity reached a whole new level. He heard knocking on his back doors and footsteps moving through his house at night. While walking to the bathroom, he saw a shadow figure standing in his hallway. He quickly grabbed his phone and captured an image. Here's what he photographed. The photo shows something peeking from behind a doorway. Using his phone's exposure settings, whatever it is becomes more defined. But when he turned on the lights, it vanished instantly. Apparently the next morning, he discovered something that confirmed this wasn't just a visual phenomenon. Fresh markings had appeared on his body overnight. The marks remained visible throughout the day. Now, after uploading this to the subreddit r/paranormal, users were pretty divided. Some believe it's real, and others, well, they aren't too sure. But what do you think this is? TikTok user Steph Wren posted footage that has left paranormal investigators debating its authenticity. A woman and her friend are casually buying breakfast at a local market. One of them decides to record a quick video of their morning routine, and nothing about the moment seems unusual. But when they reviewed the footage later that evening, they discovered something that made them question what had been standing near them.
Just want everyone to look at this. Want everyone to look at this.
A faint voice can be heard whispering. And neither woman heard it at the time. But here's what disturbs the women most. They were completely alone in that section of the market. Whatever spoke those words existed in a frequency the human ear couldn't detect in real time. But modern recording technology captured it perfectly. Now, here's the question viewers keep asking in the comments. Was this entity trying to warn her about something that was about to happen? Or was it threatening what it had planned to do to her? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Instagram user Noah Nafasin made a decision that most paranormal experts would strongly advise against. He purchased a replica Annabelle doll. For those unfamiliar, the real Annabelle is a possessed Raggedy Ann doll locked in a glass case at the Warrens Occult Museum. Replicas of this doll have a disturbing reputation for attracting genuine paranormal activity. Noah Nafasin keeps his replica displayed in a glass cabinet in his kitchen. Yeah. He claims the doll has been causing unexplained disturbances since he brought it home. Well, no shit. On October the 5th, 2025, his security camera captured something that validates his claims. footage shows the glass cabinet door suddenly opening on its own. Inside sits the Annabelle replica, positioned as if watching the room. Noah Nafferson notices the open door and approaches to close it, but as he gets closer, objects on the nearby table begin moving without any physical contact. Realizing something is actively manifesting in front of him, he immediately flees the kitchen. The Annabelle doll, though, remains in its cabinet, motionless, but clearly not powerless. Paranormal investigators have long warned that replica spirit dolls can act as vessels for entities seeking physical form. By inviting an Annabelle replica into his home, Noah Nafferson may have given something permission to attach itself. A man is staying at a hotel for a work conference when something happens that his colleagues refuse to believe. He's been assigned to room 237. On his first night, he wakes up at around 3 a.m. to find a pale woman sitting at the edge of his bed. The woman doesn't move, she just stares directly at him with hollow eyes. He freezes in terror, unable to move or speak, but then she fades into the darkness. The next morning, he tells his work colleagues about the encounter, but they don't believe him. They dismiss it as a nightmare or sleep paralysis. However, when he returns to room 237 the following evening, that same feeling of dread washes over him. Determined to prove he's not imagining things, he pulls out his phone and starts recording.
I arrived in the hotel of Lucknow.
As the camera passes by the mirror, something appears in the reflection. A pale figure is clearly visible. However, just seconds before, there was no one where this figure is now seen. The footage he captured proved his colleagues wrong. He wasn't hallucinating, and the hotel has never officially acknowledged the hauntings in room 237, but staff members know the truth. That pale woman has been sitting on that bed for years, waiting for guests who don't know they're sharing the room. Danny Ortega has been experiencing an unsettling feeling in his apartment for weeks. The feeling of being watched from outside his window. At first, he dismissed it as paranoia, but the feeling grew stronger each night, always coming from the same direction, and always when he was alone. His apartment is located on the second floor of an older building. No fire escape, no external structures, nothing that would allow someone to peer inside. Yet, that feeling of eyes watching him from beyond the glass never went away. One afternoon, while sitting in his room, something finally confirms that his instincts were right.
Hey, ¿qué pedo? Mamen, si ven eso. Qué verga. O sea, lo cagado. Lo cagado. Es que estoy en un segundo piso.
The footage clearly shows a human-shaped shadow passing along his curtain. Danny immediately goes to the window to investigate, but when he looks outside, there's no one there. Some viewers suggested it could be a neighbor's shadow cast from a rooftop across the street, so Danny posted a follow-up video showing the outside of his apartment.
La sombra se vio hace ratito y ya no se ha visto como en un minuto o algo así. Y no hay nadie construyendo ni nada. O sea, no hay nadie en ninguna azotea. Nada. Absolutamente nada. Tampoco hay nadie en la calle.
Danny films the view from his window in daylight. There are no rooftops at the correct angle to cast shadows on his curtain. No construction workers, no people on the street below. Nothing that could explain what he captured on camera. The shadow moved as if someone was walking directly outside his second floor window, in a space where no human could physically exist. Paranormal experts who analysed the footage suggest this could be a sentinel entity, a spirit, bound to the location, patrolling the boundaries between worlds. Others believe it's an entity that feeds on fear, appearing just long enough to provoke a reaction before vanishing. Danny has been advised to ignore any future sightings and avoid attempting contact, because entities like this need attention to grow stronger, and once you acknowledge them, they know you can see them, which means they'll keep coming back. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.